Welcome to Booked All Night, the podcast where hot takes meet craft notes and no one gets enough sleep. I'm Jess.
I'm Katie.
I'm Julia.
I'm Maggie. Get ready for unhinged hot takes,
A whole lot of books,
midnight giggles,
and zero shade. Grab your blankets, booklets, it's time to get booked all night. Welcome to Booked All Night. I'm Jess.
I'm Julia.
And tonight we are deep diving into Catching Fire, chapters 8 through 14. It has been 17 years, but just in case you're still avoiding spoilers, hit pause unless you have read up to or beyond chapter 14. Now, if you are ready, let's do a little recap, because there was a lot in chapters 8 through 14. We started with Gale getting whipped. We'll have our own uprising with blackjack and hookers. We're running away. The Hob is on fire. The Capitol starts to force Starve 12 with rotting food. The Mockingjay is officially a rebellion symbol. District 13 might still exist. The fence is back on. The wedding gown photo shoot. The quarter quell. Oh, everybody's going back into the arena. A forced withdrawal for Haymitch. They train even though they're not supposed to. The reaping is super short. They get no goodbyes. They watch Haymitch's very heavily cut games. And my notes here are just crying emojis, because I can't talk about any of that until we get to sunrise, but it is still very depressing. And so I am going to do my very level best to not get as many judgmental looks from Julia this evening. And then we end reflecting not on who our enemies will be in the arena, but who our teammates are, both in and out.
All right. Do you want to do this, like, chronologically?
As best I can, because I feel like so much of it is of that looking back, it has more importance, and knowing what comes next, it has more, like, you know, the way literature works in a series kind of thing. But I do want to start with after Gale is whipped, and he's whipped pretty heavily, like his back is all cut up, and it's very, very gnarly, and Peeta, Haymitch, and Katniss all stand up for him. Katniss gets the whip across her eye. When they bring Gale to her mother, and we see Prim and her mother, just kind of like a switch goes off, and they're like, it is time to be doctors, it's time to be healers, and so everybody out of the way, we have a job to do. After all of that hecticness, Katniss is sitting with Gale and just kind of keeping him company, and then she just starts to feel his face, and she like runs her fingers along. She's like, I'm having cause to touch him where I've never touched him before. And I'm like, girl, you do not have cause to touch him.
Have you heard of consent?
Yeah, he is unconscious. He is bleeding out on your kitchen table. And you're just like, I love the way his cheeks feel in my fingers. It was really weird. And it gave me Little Mermaid vibes. And I'm going to explain that because I'm sure I'm getting lots of... Yeah, exactly. I can see the confusion.
No, I get it. Like picturing Ariel on the beach with Eric when she brushes his hair off of his forehead.
Not only the Disney version, but in the original Hans Christian Andersen version, she watches him for 100 nights. Just watching his, like, the candle in his window go out. And so she's basically watching him, like, flick his light switch off at night for 100 nights. And that's what I felt like here. Like, you don't actually need to be watching him that closely. You definitely don't need to be feeling up his face and running your fingers like, here's how his eyes look and how the bone structure feels beneath me and his neck and this little clavicle I've never thought to just stick my fingers in and feel for. Like, it was really fucking weird.
I don't think I thought it was as weird as you did, but I hear your perspective on that. For me, I got really stuck at what happened. Is this before or after?
This is like right at the beginning of the section. Yeah.
Like, because after that, not that that's not fucking, like, that is super weird, touching someone's face. And like, it's like, I want to make a death mask of them or something. Like,
so
you know,
weird.
just a lot of detail. And like when she explained it and stuff, yeah, it came across as creepy. But then right after that, she thinks about Gale getting married. And her response is, the hatred I feel for him, for this phantom girl, for everything is so real and immediate, it chokes me.
Gale
but,
is
like,
mine.
But like, we're just friends.
Yeah.
But like as bros.
Yeah. There's a line in there. She's like, Gale is mine. And I'm like, baby girl, this girl you're imagining is not real. The first point. And again, just like you're saying, right after that. But like, as friends, he can't get married or ever be happy with anybody else. But definitely not with me either, because I don't really feel like that for him. But maybe I do. But just in case I do, he can't ever be happy with somebody else.
I don't love that.
Yeah. It was really weird. This whole section of Peeta versus Gale was really weird because, one, there's this section where she's very possessive of Gale, where she hadn't been before. And also, after defining a friendship with Peeta, there's another night where she's just like, I really wish he were here to hold me. And it's like, okay, honey, I can understand being like, I'm drawn to both of them. But your attitude toward both of them has been, listen, I like you guys as friends. Mm-hmm. And only as friends.
I feel like I would have been interested to hear her mental gymnastics if she thought about someone else being with Peeta as well.
Yes.
Like, I'm interested to see what she would feel with that if Peeta is also hers.
Yeah.
We really can't picture him with anybody else because they're kind of stuck together.
They are.
So it's like, what is he going to do? Have a mistress? I mean, maybe.
Who would it be? Ooh.
I mean, the only other person we know of is Madge. So
that's true.
Like,
I guess it's Madge. That's it. Yeah. The only other named character, because everybody else we meet is running away from the districts and just kind of going into the unknown with handmade Mockingjay wear.
I mean, it did make me really sad for Peeta when he wakes her up from falling asleep at the table.
Yeah.
Like, he just always has to pick up her pieces, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
They're different kind of caretaker archetypes, right? One is a material provider. That's Katniss. She's like, I know to feed you, I know to clothe you, I know to keep a roof over your head. And then you have Peeta, who is more emotional, and he's like, okay, it's time to go get a good night's sleep in bed. If you need me, I'm over here. And it's not fair because they are children. They're what, 17 maybe at this point, because we're about to go into the games. I mean, that's part of the message, right? Is that we put things onto children and onto the next generation that they don't deserve to have to put up with or to find coping skills for.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to have it throughout this entire series of, I hate that this was published upwards of 20 years ago and it is still wildly relevant to a lot of discourse today. Yeah. And I feel like I'm going to have to say it every episode because it still is. And it's so relevant in many different ways. It's not just the surface level of this oppressive government. It's that and, you know, the trauma that we inherit from our parents and the generations before us and the things that don't get handled and just war theory. And is it ever, you know, really justified in going to war or punishing people after that war is over? Like, I live for a day where this is not relevant and not the hellscape that I currently live in, but that's, you know, where I am.
But unprecedented times.
Oh my God.
If the millennial call sign.
If I fucking hear.
It's interesting, like every single time I read Gale or every single time I read Peeta, I immediately think of what the other would do. Yeah. Like how the other would react in that. And I wish I didn't associate that much weight to that sort of comparison the whole time. And it sometimes really takes me out of the story, and it's frustrating.
There are some times that I feel it's very intentional, especially when we open here and Gale is getting whipped. Peeta does stand up for him. And I think we are at that moment lent into, would Gale have stood in front of Peeta? Because Gale is constantly like, let's have our own uprising with blackjack and hookers. We can do it.
Peeta standing in front of him as a victor
is different and has a different weight.
Exactly. Like Gale, I don't think would have, because he just would have been whipped after that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's still nice that PETA had the opportunity to stand in front of Gale, and Haymitch was able to come up with those lies.
Yeah.
Man, they're good at that, I have to say.
They are good at that, and they are quick at that.
Seriously, love.
Like,
they're just like, we'll follow your lead, my guy. Like, to Katniss. Like, whatever she's gonna do, they're like, yeah,
woo!
We're here. We're gonna support you in any way we can.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, we're all gonna run away. We're all gonna run away. We're gonna go into the woods. It's gonna be fine. We're actively talking to literally everybody. Hey, Haymitch, we're gonna run away. Oh, okay. Hey, PETA, we're gonna run away. Hey, Gale, we're gonna run away with everybody. We're taking everybody. We're all gonna just go out into the woods, and we're gonna live happily ever after. And there is a part after the quell is announced where Haymitch is like, oh, are we still running away? She's like, no. and he's like, oh, did we figure out the flaws in that plan then? Yeah. We realized not such a great idea.
Isn't that before the quarter quell is announced? I know there's more to it where she does think about it again, and I'm only saying that because I literally just read it like an hour ago.
Oh my god.
But because I forgot that to read 13 and 14 anyways, but I'm pretty sure that, I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter that plan with Haymitch happens before that conversation, because they're walking from the victors' houses to the village, and she is always trying to find time to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then, because after that, she just thinks about it. She's like, well, it's too late to run now.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it?
It is before that, before the quell. It's not long after Gale's whipping and he's inside. Yeah. And she's got some lovely lines here, like, I really can't think about kissing when I've got a rebellion to incite. Yeah. There's like a moment of silence with Haymitch, and then it's, oh, so we're all heading off into the great unknown, are we? No, not anymore. Oh, worked through the flaws in that plan, did you, sweetheart? Any new ideas? I want to start an uprising. As you should say loud with your whole chest when you know that your government is watching you. Yeah. So, little FBI man in my computer, I want to start an uprising. But remember that in Panem, the little FBI man is also in the trees and the doorknobs and your walls and your phone lines.
Rocks on the ground.
Rocks on the ground.
Yeah, there's really nowhere that's like safe. Like, it's shocking to me that she even did that. Like, I don't understand why at no part they're not writing things down, showing each other, and then burning the letters. Like, to me, I'm like, it's right there.
Right?
It's right there. Like,
they're not developing like a code or like, they were more subtle when Katniss was in the arena and Haymitch was like, I will send food when you kiss the boy. And here she's just like, I don't know if everyone can hear me, but I want to start an uprising. One more time, I would like to start an uprising in District 12.
I thought it was really interesting, though, that after she says that, I think they make it to the village, and all of a sudden she's like looking around at all the kids and all the people that would have to join in this uprising. And she's like, oh, wait, this isn't just me and Gale and other strong people fighting. Like, all these people could die. Yep. And at first it's like, yeah, we're gonna start the uprising, and like you kind of just get into this, and then it's like, oh, there's children.
Yeah.
And the implications are so much bigger.
It's not only that there's children, but there's elderly folk. There's people that are disabled in this district that, you know, like, they're a coal mining district. They've gone down, they've gotten hurt, they've never been able to go back to work. Yeah. Even if you do get this uprising going, how are you going to determine who is the strongest among you, who should be getting the food and the resources to remain the strongest among you in order to have a successful uprising? And there's just so much that her mom is thinking about. I think that Haymitch is thinking about. I mean, it's obvious. Everybody else who was like, yeah, let's go do it, it's not even on their radar.
Yeah. Well, even like later on, I think she's talking to Haymitch again, and he's like, yeah, they were able to revolt in 8 because there's so many of them. They were able to do that in 4 because there's so many of them. And he's like, if we did that here, every single person would have to be involved.
Yes.
And okay, first off, you would think that the coal mining district would have more people because coal is powering everything, right?
Right.
So, unless there's some other source of power that I'm unaware of, but the nuclear plant in 13, they don't have access to.
Right. And the story that they get for that right now is that they were like a graphite mining district.
Oh, the precious minerals.
Yeah.
Right? Or
no.
Yeah, I think you're right with the graph.
Yeah, with the graphite.
Because then they couldn't like make more technology or something.
Yeah, I don't remember the excuse after that, but it was definitely like the story was definitely not this was the nuclear district or this is where we built all the weapons district.
Because how do we know it's the nuclear district? Does Katniss figure that out?
I think we know that because we have read the series.
But I swear it's said in here.
No, they said graphite.
Chapter 10, District 13, principal industry was nuclear. Oh, okay. She finds that out from the people that she finds in the...
Oh, Bonnie and Twill.
In her little cabin.
Yeah, where they
tell her.
They have the longest stretch of logic. They're like, they only use the same footage. And I'm like, yeah, the Capitol uses the same footage for like everything though. They don't change up the footage they show just before the games of the Dark Days. It's the same.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
I understand what you mean. It's like the same propaganda reel.
Yeah, exactly. Why would this one little Mockingjay, this little flicker of a Mockingjay, be enough to get you to be like, oh, but yes.
Aren't they referring to like, because she says, Katniss talks about it later on when she's watching for the Mockingjay, the reporter who's like pretending to be there.
Yeah.
And she still sees that little Mockingjay in the corner. I would think that that's more so what they're talking about, because it's like, why are you pretending to be there and use this?
Yeah.
And like have the green screen. Like, what is the point of that? If there was really nothing there, then it's nothing for you to go and actually just film it, since you're pretending to be there anyway.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Katniss here that it's like you're going out here based on the shot of a bird.
Well, no, I agree that is a stretch. But at the same time, like, there have to have been more rumors. You didn't do that just because of the shot of the bird.
Right. I kind of wish we heard them more of those rumors here, where like maybe possibly from Katniss, where she's like, oh yeah, that's right, and there's a swimming pool in the middle of the district, and if you say red rum 3 times, President Snow appears, and if like just maybe like a list of other kind of crazy things that go through the district that might have been like pranks as kids, or like the little playground rumor things.
See, okay, I think I was like associating my knowledge of obviously the rest of the series with this, because you're right. It is like a really big stretch to only have that one tiny bird.
There is a good line here, though, right after she's like, but they were graphite miners. She then hesitates and she acknowledges, but that's information that I got from the Capitol. And I think it's the first time I see her questioning the information that she knows about her world, because the only information she gets is from the Capitol. Yeah.
Which she's finally starting to acknowledge and put together.
Yeah. Not long after that, she's very angry. She's like, well, then if they exist, why haven't they helped us?
Oh, right.
If it's true, why do they leave us like this with the hunger and the killings and the games? And, you know, suddenly she hates the imagery that she's getting out of this. And she's like, so they're just sitting there underground, safe, and watching us all die. Okay, so they're no better than the Capitol.
Yeah, I also thought that was kind of a stretch, because she, first off, doesn't know how big they are.
Yeah.
Doesn't know if
it could literally be like 6 people that survive.
No, exactly. Like, doesn't know how many resources they actually do have, if they could even help. Like, at the end of the day, 75 years is not that long to rebuild your whole life.
Civilization, yeah. I understand the sentiment, but as you're saying, that'd be like me right now as an American being upset that uncontacted tribes in the Amazon have not rallied together to help the American population. We don't know them. We don't know what they have. We don't know what they have access to. They maybe don't know about us, even if they are. Like, The only reason you and I know that District 13 has the technology that it does is because we've read through the series.
Mm-hmm.
But as of this point right now, they could literally be 6 people in a bunker that managed to survive, and they're just elderly with, like, one middle-aged dude who was born just as they went into the bunker.
Yeah. It feels like a mistake by the author. Does that make sense? Like
a little whoopsie-daisy, maybe we revealed this too soon kind of thing?
Yeah, like she gave them too much power too early. It's almost like there is something there. Why aren't they helping them? Little Easter egg. There is actually something, I don't know.
No, I agree. It's weird to critique that level of pacing because this is published in 2009?
Yeah. Oh, and people are human. And I could just be reading into it as well.
1, people are human. 2, it was published in 2009, and the standards by which we published literature for young adults was drastically different. All of these books, by the way, are like 28 chapters. That's pretty short.
Yeah.
Particularly when you consider what modern day genre fiction is, even for a young adult audience. It's much longer than that.
Yeah.
We have a limited time frame. We have a limited word count. We are actively aiming at an audience that is 16 years old, but we're writing for the audience that will wind up reading up because kids always read up.
Yeah.
So my ideal audience for this is 16, 17 years old, but the reality is that a 12-year-old will pick it up, and the unseen portion of the market was 25 to 35-year-olds who no one saw coming for children's lit.
Yeah.
I think if it were written today, my suggestion would be that a lot of this information gets spread out, that we see the broadcast of District 13 first before we ever hear about it and hear about weird, quirky things in the background of it, that we find like a remnant of District 13 when she's out hunting, that like there's just like little things for us to be like, oh, this is where they're kind of coming from for that, as opposed to just having 2 people randomly in a house in the woods. Info dump.
So the other thing that is also kind of confusing to me is why Katniss became such a symbol of the rebellion. That's going to sound real bad, but like,
no,
it's like all of a sudden she's there, she wins the games, then everyone's like, the Mockingjay, she's the symbol, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get how we got from A to Z here.
It does at times feel like A to Delta, like we just skipped some parts and went to a different alphabet.
Yeah.
And I know that we've had this particular discussion where it's like Rue is the Mockingjay, right? Rue is ultimately the flame that sparks these rebellions because she is a child, because she is cared for, because Katniss shows her due respect. But it is Rue's death that incites this, not Katniss.
Yeah.
And then they do just kind of take Katniss. They're like, hey, you're 16. You should lead a national rebellion, which has always felt like the weirdest thing to me in young adult literature. And it's one thing when the main character is older and they are 18, possibly 19, and they still kind of fit into that weird crossover space. But at 16, you're a baby.
Oh, 100%. Especially she's surrounded by adults that are knowledgeable in strategy and all that sort of thing. It's not like she's leading a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So, but like plot armor and all of that.
Yeah. I can see how the Mockingjay itself becomes that symbol, right? Because one, of how it was bred and how it came to remain living, and like no one expected it to live, but it did, and it was her symbol, the symbol of a victor that showed this particular empathy for her fellow man. But Katniss herself goes from, I'm going to run away with Gale, I'm going to run away with everybody, I kind of want to kiss Peeta, I'm going to incite a riot, I want to have an uprising in this district, but I also want to take all the kids and go, but we can't take all the kids and go, but I want to have an uprising somehow. Oh my god, it's going to kill kids. Like, these are her thoughts in the span of one chapter. Why is she the one that is the chosen one? TM.
She doesn't really even show, I mean, obviously we're talking about future events, but I don't really think she even shows that much leadership in other situations. Like, she's very, I'm going to make friends with one person, not I'm going to lead this whole scenario. But at the same time, like, she's a symbol and not the actual, like, she's a figurehead.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I agree. It's very weird.
It just seemed really quick.
It is very quick.
For me, especially when when Rue died, and then all of a sudden they're showing, I'm thinking back to the movie, but like all of a sudden it's like, now there's a riot because she was kind. But then now reading these chapters, like 8 to 14 that we just finished, Haymitch goes and holds that one girl's hand while she's dying. Yeah. And like, so clearly other tributes have shown kindness to other tributes, and it's not like she's the first one to ever do it. So it just seems like a really big leap, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. It was something that was bothering me.
Yeah. It bothers me at large that is a trope in children's fiction where they're like, obviously this child will lead us to greatness, because they do it in middle grade too. Well,
they do it in like adult stuff too. Like, how many times have I read a book where this girl has never picked up a sword and then a month later she's leading a rebellion?
The army, yeah.
She's like the general of the army. And it was like, bitch, a week ago you were living in a village. But like, okay.
Right? Right. That is my least favorite part of genre fiction.
100%.
When the totally unqualified protagonist beats out the overly qualified antagonist. Yeah. And I'm like, how? Yeah.
Like, Katniss winning the games. She's not unqualified to do that. She has all those skills. It's just everything else that I'm like, I don't see it.
And if they had left and they were out in the wilderness, once they were in the arena and, you know, they're going back into the arena, that makes sense because her skills are based around survival and protecting those with her. That makes sense. But to lead an army and a political movement...
I guess we'll see how it plays out again. Maybe how it plays out in my mind is a whole lot looser than how it actually happens again.
Maybe there's maybe there's too much Jennifer Lawrence in the brain and the portrayal of it as opposed to book Katniss.
But we'll see. Even when we watched the first movie, I forgot that the third movie was split into 2 parts. I was like, oh yeah, there's a part 1, part 2. So like,
you ready for that extra long movie night?
Yes, I'm very excited. But there's a lot about the third book that I don't remember. So
oh yeah. Anyway, I will say, going back through these so far, and I know that I've said it like 1,000 times and I keep getting glares, but there are so many calls for Sunrise on the Reaping, and there's not as many calls about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And that also kind of bothers me, but bothers me about future publications where it's like, you had the groundwork to kind of reference this moment, or what's the word I'm looking for? Foreshadow this moment that's coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about, which is pissing off my co-hosts. But in here, especially when they go to watch Haymitch's games.
Yeah, I really liked that part.
Here is a really good job that when you get to Sunrise, you're going to remember this section because all of this happens, right? And there's definitely other things that happen that get cut out, but we're not, what's the word? Like, we're not naive about the fact that the Capitol cuts things out. We already know that from watching the clips from the last game, that they have a narrative they want to portray, and that's what they wind up portraying. We also know that whatever character you create for yourself for the games to get sponsors is what you wind up being for the rest of your life if you survive. And we see that across this series. But Ballad, I'll just complain about it when we get there, because right now we're talking about Catching Fire.
Okay.
So we are actively moving through Katniss's PTSD, and she's got to take sleep syrup to go to bed because she just can't get to sleep without it. And I really not liked like, oh wow, nightmares are wonderful, but she has multiple of them, and they get influenced by whatever's happening in real time. So like right after the wedding dress photo shoot, she's back in the games, but now she's in a torn version. Being chased by all these mutations. And I liked that was kept up, because a lot of times, especially in Kidlit, we'll be like, oh wow, we went through some trauma. That was yesterday and we're moving on. And I like that was held up here.
Yeah. Especially when she sees Peta's art.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, I hate it.
Yeah. She's like, I love it. But like, I hate it. And thank you for all of this.
The slappiest of compliments. It's really beautiful. Beautiful work. I hate you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Also, that whole like talent thing. What was the fucking point of that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I was trying to think about that, and I was like, this is never referenced ever. Like, what? Finnick's talent is fucking people? Like...
Yeah, I also don't understand. They bring it up. They're like, you have to have a talent. You have to have a focus, whatever.
A hobby.
And I'm like, okay, so, yeah, like, you have to have a hobby. Cool. Okay, so Peta's is baking bread. Why can't mine be...
No, Peta's is
like,
painting.
It's
Sorry.
painting. Yeah, no, you're right. Peta's... Oh, yes, narrate my air quotes. His is painting, quote, painting. It just feels weird because we don't hear about that about any other Victor.
Yeah.
No one's like, well, Haymitch used to have a hobby of caring for geese and now it's just drinking. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't start out as I'm gonna brew liquor or something like that. He's just a drunk.
Mm-hmm. Is it such a focus though because they're trying to make her like, look, she's not a threat. Look at her. She's designing clothes. Look, see? Look at her. She's participating in the capital engine sort of thing. And that's why we're hearing about it?
Maybe. But at the same time, wouldn't we hear about it from, like, not necessarily from other Victors, but about other Victors? Yeah, no, if that
exactly.
Were the case?
Like, even when they're going through all the Victors in the end of...
Finnick's talent is holding his breath, says producer Rob. Oh, it kind of isn't, though.
I don't like that implication.
I don't.
Right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Producer Rob made it sadder. Yeah. Thank you, producer Rob.
When Peta is going through all the Victors and he's like making notes about all of them, there could have been like, she was career from District 1. She was really good at needlepoint. It's just never mentioned again. And it just seems really strange.
It is. It really is. I think it would make sense if the hobbies they were forced into were specifically to create capital in the capital, or right, like keep the economics going. Like, oh, this Victor painted this painting, and so you want it hanging on your wall, and this Victor designed this fashion, and so you want that fashion in your home. This one made ceramics. This one did this, and it's all just
like the memorabilia.
Yeah. But even that's not it. It's just...
Well, I mean, it could be, but it's just not mentioned. It could, or...
Yeah. It's... Yeah.
Has a point, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just pointing out things that are bothering my little ADHD autistic brain, so...
It's almost like we have a podcast for that very reason.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought her nearly immediately leaving to go hunting right after Gale was whipped was bullshit.
Yeah.
Didn't love that. Didn't not love that. It's like, did you learn nothing? Like that, he literally just got whipped and you're like, I'm gonna go hunt. And you're like,
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I feel like her hunting is only narratively for the purpose of getting us to meet Bonnie and Twill.
Yeah.
And to know that the fence is back on. But I also feel like she could have met Bonnie and Twill inside her old house.
No, because then they would have had to get into the district. Her meeting them, they never made it into the district.
Oh, they never made it into the district.
Yeah, because they're on the other side of the fence. I think she could have met them, but like, to me, narratively, she should have gone hunting, met them. Gale never come for hunting then. She comes back. Gale happened to have game from whatever, but he's being whipped, but she found out about District 13 in that moment.
Just like a reordering of events as opposed to like taking some events out.
But I guess that's the catalyst to all the other stuff. It just seemed like it was too quick. Yeah. Even like give it a couple weeks of like, oh, I saw these kids starving and I felt the need to go and get more game and like the guilt was weighing on me or something. Not like, I'm sad, I'm gonna go hunt, I'm bored, this is the only thing that makes me feel better. Like, what?
I'm bored and I have fingered his face enough, and so now I need to go into the woods to go hunting.
I'm shaking my head at you for that.
I do agree, though, that it feels like, especially this section, that Katniss is constantly not learning the same lesson. She is being watched, period.
Yeah.
And she still goes out and does these things. She's being told that she's being watched, and she's still like, well, not me. And she goes out and goes hunting. There's a part after or around Bonnie and Twill where she's like, oh, could they have cameras around the district? And I'm like, yes, you fucking moron, yes.
Yeah, duh. Because, like, even Gale kissing Katniss, President Snow immediately knows about that, and it was in the fucking woods.
Yeah.
Like, herder. And she's like, yeah, but, like, I'm gonna go to the lake where no one knows. And I'm like, so they can't follow you with cameras? At no point? Because you've been going to the lake on your days off so many fucking times.
Okay, even if you never thought that it was possible in the district to be watched that closely, you just got out of the arena where you were watched that closely. You could literally hear the cameras in the trees. Why would you not think or be paranoid about being watched just like that once you got out?
Yeah.
And even if you weren't immediately, once President Snow came to you and was like, let's not lie to each other, I saw you kiss the boy in the woods. Mm-hmm. Okay. He saw you kiss the boy in the woods.
You never go into the woods ever again.
Exactly. Haymitch is like, no, you don't understand, you're being watched. She understands it in the sense of the train. She's like, well, the train came from the capital. And it's like, hey, honey, the district also comes from the capital. It's their possession.
Yeah.
Of course they watch it.
She, like, acknowledges that it's weird and then just immediately forgets. It's like, okay. But even her falling out of the tree and her, like, guessing of them turning the power on, like, to me it's so obvious that obviously they turned the power on because they know you're on the other side of the fence.
Right. And they want to catch you
and
so they
like,
can hit you.
Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's just random. What are you talking about?
Sometimes I'm like, Katniss Everdeen, you're so smart. And sometimes I'm like, Katniss Everdeen, I want to shake you by the clavicle until you understand you're being fucking watched.
Yeah. And then, as I was reading, she says that PETA just off the cuff mentioned that parts of the fence are being turned off because they're putting that chain link underneath. At no point does she tell anyone that she was on the other side of the fence. Does PETA just know her that well that he would have just guessed that?
Bewildered arm movements.
Because I like literally went back and I was like, she doesn't tell anyone. She actively says she doesn't tell anyone. But then I guess they're like covering for her and they know. It's a lot. It's just a lot.
So for years, since she was like 12, right?
Yeah.
She's been going into the woods, hunting, and bringing back game. So if we don't know where Katniss is, it's a fair guess that she is out in the woods hunting on one of her walks, as we like to say when the authorities are around.
Yeah.
PETA, I think, understands. They are all being watched. That's why he's like, hey, the fence, is getting repaired. And Katniss, of course, is like, oh, wow, that's nice. I'm still going to climb under it because that means that there's spots that haven't yet been repaired. And it's just like, no, girl.
Yeah, it was really annoying that, like, that was her first thought. Oh, well, perfect. I can get into the forest again. What? No, that wasn't the point of him saying that.
This section was definitely one of the ones where I wanted to reach in and throttle her. Oh, there is also a moment, I want to put this on record because it's so very rare that we see this. On page 51, quote, I turn on the shower and stand under the warm rain for a minute before I realize I'm still in my underclothes to just confirm that underwear exists in the capital.
I have that marked too. I was like, she's gonna love this part. A situation where someone should be naked finally has clothes on.
Finally has clothes on, because every other time she's like, I get undressed and I'm totally nude. I'm like, I don't need to know. And also, why are all these adults looking at you when you're naked?
Yeah, well.
But But here, on page 51 of Catching Fire, canonically, underwear does exist. Oh, and then PETA dumps all of Haymitch's liquor, and they force him into
working out
withdrawal. Yeah, and they're like, all right, let's go running. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you both. I'll read her or not, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that part was like hard to read, especially his withdrawals and stuff. Because, like, obviously it's gonna be PETA and Katniss. Why are you doing this to this poor man?
Yeah. They do have that discussion, right? So Katniss and Haymitch both agree that when they go in, it's PETA that they're going to actively try to save. Yeah. That they're going to make sure that he's the victor that year.
Which, again, they're having a conversation and not including PETA in it, and it really pisses me off.
Right?
All three of you should be having a conversation about this and your strategy.
Yeah, and a big part that Haymitch brings up is, if my name is called, I cannot stop him from volunteering.
Yeah.
So if his name is called, I will volunteer, we will go in, PETA gets to stay home and be beloved by all. But again, why wouldn't you include PETA in some part of that discussion? Even if it was like, listen, if you wind up in there with me, we are saving you. No, you don't get a say in it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Because then you aren't working against each other. Like, why are you making him your, not adversary, but now you're fighting against PETA fighting for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she knows that he's not going to agree to it. So, But then still have that discussion. So you're all on the same fucking team. Like, you're all supposed to be on the same fucking team.
It takes her a very long time to realize they are a team.
Yeah.
Most of what gets shown in the latter half of this section is them talking it out and being like, okay, so if we're up against that guy from that district or that guy from that district or her or like them, like, we have this plan of action, these are their weaknesses and everything else. They even start studying each other and they're like, well, if it's PETA, I'll just shoot him from afar. If it's Katniss, I'll just, present her with a choice and she'll be blinded like a deer in headlights. And not once are they like, how can we work together to make it to the end?
Yeah.
Before we have to make this choice.
Yeah.
What can we do to get sponsors? That's not even a talk right now. What can we do to get sponsors? Because all of these other victors also have their fans and their sponsors from previous games.
Yeah.
And whatever activities they're up to now. Like so much of this section, it was so incredibly frustrating that a lot of this seemed so obvious. To be like, okay, look who your teammates are. And she doesn't even come to that until after they watch Haymitch's games. Yeah. And she's like, oh, he also pissed off the Capitol because the way that he won his games was not the intended way for them to win the games. So now that I know that he's on my side, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't figure that out last year?
Yeah, it sucks that she needed him to, his past actions to, like, prove that to her. Like, oh, he's just as smart as us. Like, he's fighting against the Capitol too, when, like, she knows that he's fighting against the Capitol because he's been telling her to play up this thing with PETA the whole fucking time. So it's not like it's a mystery that he's not a big fan of the Capitol.
Yeah.
And so him figuring out this axe thing, like, to me, when she even says at the end there, when it's like, now I understand Haymitch a little bit more. I honestly read that line and I was like, I don't. Like, what? I don't understand how you understand Haymitch more. Like, what? Because he was intuitive? Because he was innovative? Because he saw a flaw in the system and used it to his advantage? To me, him using that bounce back thing has nothing to do with him fighting against the Capitol. It has to do with, I found something that I could possibly use to win these games.
Yeah.
I don't understand where that cross happens, where he's now fighting against the Capitol with that.
At the very least, at this point in the series, I agree.
And then even before that, when they're watching Haymitch's games and he's talking with the friend that he made and they're walking along and she's like, where are we going? And he's like, well, there has to be an end somewhere. When Katniss was walking in her games and she got far enough away, the Capitol actively tried to push her back.
Correct.
Why are they allowing him then to continue to walk over there? Why aren't they doing anything to stop him? Because clearly they can. They talk about other things that happen where they're releasing
Well, remember
those...
that Haymitch's games are 25 years prior to this. I'm not going to say that it's like, oh, they don't have the technology to. I'm thinking they may not have thought about that in that particular section of the arena.
Oh, like we're now associating bigger meaning to it because of what's going on, and that wouldn't have had the same implications in the past?
Yeah. Haymitch's were the 50th games, and so the lesson that the game makers take from that is, oh, they can find the edge of the arena. We don't want them to find the edge of the arena. So the next year they are prepared to redirect them by any means necessary. Even though they have always had a way to kind of control where they're at, they maybe didn't think about it on the edges.
That's fair.
Like a
know
real
better,
fucked
do
up
better
game of Othello. Yeah.
Yeah. Learning from your mistakes sort of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
This is going to be very difficult for me to talk about as we get the snippets of Haymitch's games.
But I think this is the only snippet, right? We don't really hear about him again.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the only snippet that we get, and we get specific imagery. So we see the allyship he had with Maisie Donner.
Yeah. We
learn, like, oh, there's 48 players because there's twice as many tributes. We see some of the chariot rides.
Yeah.
Caesar Flickerman, we see Haymitch being cocky, the opening of the game where everyone's running to the cornucopia and then kind of figuring out that the meadow, while beautiful, is also poisonous. We see his empathetic holding the hands of Maisie Donner as she dies after she gets attacked by the bird. And then the final fight where he uses the force field of the arena to kill the other tribute. My notes are only sobbing emojis. And that's all I can offer you at this time.
You'll just save those for later. That's your little note so we can come back to it. And I appreciate it in every single way. And I honestly do love when you point out these things as like, hey, just so you know, pay attention to this. Hey, just so you know, pay attention to this. And I am really excited to read all of those things because I do love me some little foreshadowing. But I'm sorry that you're experiencing this tragedy.
I can offer you a sobbing emoji in this trying time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, though, too, so. If
this is the only information you have about Haymitch's games, I think this was really well done, that they have their own speculation about his motives in there, that I don't remember them noting exactly, but I think it's very clear that just like their year, there are things missing from the games. There was definitely a narrative that they put forth, that even the tapes that they're watching are from the Capitol. So it's not the whole picture that they're getting.
When they say we're going to watch the whole games, or we're going to watch the games, in my head, I'm like, isn't that like weeks of footage then? Like what?
Days, at least.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Like, we are watching a 2-hour movie. Like...
Yeah, that's the other thing, that when they put it in, they're not watching the games, right? They're watching the highlights reel.
Yeah. So I don't even understand how you can make informed, not decisions about the other tributes to study them, but like inferences about their character if you're only ever able to watch these highlight reels, because you're only ever seeing their strengths. Right? Like there wouldn't be too many opportunities to see the strongest weaknesses. They're not going to portray those because they want to show them as strong, right? Like they're not going to show this overcoming story. They're showing everyone else as weak and then being like, look, they're special.
They're special and they're strong and they're the best that the Capitol has to offer. And now that they have won, they're no longer district, they're capital, and that's important. And like, that's part of the narrative. That's part of this cut and paste strategy that the Capitol has. While they're watching these, and like every single time that they mention watching these reels, all I can think about is this photo from like one of my media textbooks where there's a square in the middle of it and it looks like somebody is stabbing another person. And when you come further out of the photo, it's actually like reversed and the person who is doing the stabbing is actively running away. And it's just about, like what media has the power to control with the frame and the narrative. That's what they're getting here. I also don't understand. I mean, like, I do understand because it's like trauma, and I can't imagine that if they were sending other kids in this year, if Katniss and Peeta would have wanted to sit there and be like, right, so what they're not showing you is his leg decaying and just kind of coming off, right? But knowing what's ahead, why Haymitch at this point wouldn't be like, so this is what I know about the force field keeping you in the arena, or this is what I learned about the structure of the arena itself, not necessarily the theme of it, but how they get things to and from.
Oh,
just
like
to kind of give
the logistics about building it?
Yeah.
Do they say that they even use Haymitch as a resource while they're gathering all of this information? I think they do.
They, like, have to, because they don't want to go up to him and be like, hey, you know how you're friends with those other victors now? How can we kill them?
That's totally fair. They're very respectful of his feelings here.
Yes.
One thing that I just wanted to bring up before I do forget, with Haymitch going sober and how much he struggled with that, and then the end of chapter 14, and it's like he picks up a bottle of wine, that honestly broke my heart to read that. Yeah. I was like, oh, like all that pain you went through you've been on the train for a week, like
a second.
Yeah. And you're already picking up the wine. And I was like, fuck, that was hard to read. That was really hard to read. It made me really sad.
That part, actually, I do want to read, not only because it makes everybody sad, but I think it's a good place to end for us today on these quotes and where I really want to strangle Katniss. I whip around, afraid he's going to be angry over us for watching his tape, but he just smirks and takes a swig from the bottle of wine. So much for sobriety. I guess I should be upset he's drinking again, but I'm preoccupied with another feeling. I've spent these weeks getting to know who my competitors are without even thinking about who my teammates are. Now a new kind of confidence is lighting up inside me because I think I finally know who Haymitch is, and I'm beginning to know who I am. And surely two people who have caused the Capitol so much trouble can think of a way to get Peeta home alive.
You selfish bitch.
You dumb bitch. I just...
Like, Peeta and Haymitch have spent so much time thinking about the three of them, and for her to be like, I haven't even thought about the other two people that I'm spending time with. Like, first off, you have, though. So for you to not acknowledge that and be aware of that also hurts me.
Part of me gets it, right? There's no other chance for her not to go into the arena. She's the only female victor. Fine. However... the fact that a lot of her thoughts about this have been like, I'm going back into the arena. Me, solo, back in the arena. I'm going back in the arena. I'm the only one going back in the arena. And it's like, no.
And I have to save Peeta by myself.
And I have to do it by myself. I can't talk to anybody else about it. Like, this you can't talk to anybody else about, but 4 times a fucking day, you're like, hey, let's start an uprising.
Yeah, and she almost, like, thinks about Haymitch as, like, the internet. Like, just a resource to use to get Peeta out of there. It's not, like, who he is, or even Peeta. She's like, I need to get this tree out of the arena. Which is her not including him in the discussion as if he has any choice about his life.
Or about what he's got to face when he comes home.
Or that.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one that's like, in love with you, so...
We're going to make sure that you live, and then every year when they show highlights, you can watch me die over and over and over again, and that'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
Hooray!
It really pissed me off when they were showing her in those wedding dresses. And her first thought was like, I didn't have a chance to prepare Gale for this. I wonder what he's thinking. I was like,
yo, fuck Gale.
Who cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? You are probably going to die. So poor
One, that. And 2, there's a part where, like, she's literally like, listen, he's going to kill everybody I love. And if that weren't the case, maybe you would be the person that I love. And he's just like, oh, well, where would we be then? And she's like, hunting. In the woods.
Yeah, on Sundays.
Like we do every Sunday.
Have Sundays.
We would have Sundays.
Okay.
Sundays in the park with Gale.
Sure.
That's it.
When she's making that book with Peeta and she like is watching him paint and she goes, his face takes on a special look when he concentrates. His usual easy expression is replaced by something more intense and removed that suggests an entire world locked away inside him. And I'm like, Are you just realizing that this man has inner strength? You're right now, that's what you're seeing, is that he has dedication and there's more to him than just, I like to bake bread. Like, it pissed me off so much that she didn't even consider that before. Like, I know she does say here that she saw him have that look in his eye in the arena and at other points, but I'm like, you do not give this man enough credit. Oh my fucking God.
All I could think in that scene was, paint me like one of your French breads.
Well, on that note, I think that's the perfect place to end.
Right there.
Right there.
Paint me like one of your French breads.
Paint me like one of your rocks.
Paint me with your fondant. Do you think he uses fondant? Disgusting ass fondant to do all the decorating.
I mean, I used to watch those cake decorating competitions. Remember when those were all the rage?
Oh, yeah. Oh, but buttercream is delicious. I don't care how fuzzy it makes my teeth feel, but fondant is gross.
Yeah.
Thanks for staying up with us. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at BookedAllNightPod. Drop a comment to let us know what you thought of today's show, and join our Discord server for giveaways, excerpts, and more. It's still in the works, but we're aiming for 100 members. Catch our live author interviews on YouTube and leave a question for our guests on our Discord server. Check out our shop and website at bookedallnight.co. That's bookedallnight.co. And if you're loving the chaos, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. Until next time, booklets, and remember to stay booked all night.